Alright guys, it's landed. This is my Scion XA, it's 2006. I'm going to be checking that frame brace underneath that I installed earlier and see how it survived. Problem is, it's hit a lot of shit, so it's probably not survived. It might be a little difficult to remove, as I think some of the screws are probably, or bolts are probably messed up. We'll see when we get under it. Guys, my jack stands under my Datsun at the moment, and since I'm not planning on being under my car, I am just lifting and setting the wheels on some solid concrete and wood improvised stands. Don't do this. Now guys, I know what you're thinking. What the hell are you doing? That is way unsafe. Well, that's the risk I'm taking today. Don't do this. I have the jack holding the majority of the weight. The tires are loaded a little bit, the suspension, so I dropped it down a little bit. This is going to stay where I need it for now. I'm just basically doing an inspection right now. I'm not going to be tugging on anything too hard. If I do, I'll recheck what I've done and make sure it's not going to go any further. But we're going to take a look at what has been hitting the road the last year as I drive with this frame brace on. So here we go. Okay guys, welcome to the underside of the car. Here is that Megan Racing frame brace. Now, as you can see, it's hit a couple things. It looks like part of the rattling down here is the actual tag has had its rivet shorn off from hitting something. This is the area, the spot I was having trouble with the frame bolt, the threads in the frame being stripped out. Clearly this is too low and is hitting shit. Doesn't look like the middle of the brace got too much actual strikes, it's just the outer edges. And this is where the Megan Racing frame brace differs from the frame brace. Let me get some light over there so you can see maybe a little bit better. That side's really bad too. Now this is the rear side of it because the front of the car is up there. Looks like I've got some sort of, oh yeah, oil pan gasket leak. I still gotta fix that. That's all that is. But what I'm seeing here is the Tanabe frame brace is sits a lot more flush to this, actually about half an inch. Well hell, this was a half an inch down. It's all ground off now. It was down closer to like here originally, I think. And then the Tanabe frame brace actually sits a lot more flush level with this, and so even this part's up quite a bit more. Now the reason I don't have the Tanabe on here is because that was actually a different car that got totaled. Long story, someone ran me off the road on the highway, so that brace got destroyed. This is my replacement car, which is the same exact car, just a different color. It's white, and I couldn't find the Tanabe brace anymore. They actually have a rear one, a rear Tanabe brace for the rear that replaces this little tiny flimsy bar and ties both the I don't even know what you call these, they're not even really frame rails, but both of these sections of the body together, including this. So it's a lot stiffer back there, but I cannot find that brace anywhere. I think they're basically just sold out. I'm not making them anymore. And then the front one I couldn't find either by Tanabe. I had both of them before. I preferred having the rear one, and I preferred the Tanabe one because it didn't hang too low. I do have my car lowered quite a bit. It's I don't know how much lower, but it's at least 2 inches lower than stock. So keep that in mind if you're going to put one of these in. I am lowered a lot, and most people wouldn't drive their cars this low unless they enjoy that like I do. So if you have a car at stock ride height, you want to get a little bit more or a little bit less flex out of the unibody, this is a good way to go. I'm not bashing Megan Racing's product other than the fact that it doesn't work for my situation with a lowered car. If you're sitting at stock ride height, it'll be fine. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing under here. I have yellow speed suspension, coilovers up front, and then springs in the rear. Let's see, you might be able to see it up there. Can you see it? A little bit. You can see some of the gold, yellow. That's the front suspension. The rear suspension is some springs. Yeah, come around the back. It's lowering springs right here in the perch. Now there is a Yellow Speed Racing gives you a piece that goes underneath the spring that's supposed to capture the spring, and it actually adds about another inch of height. I do not like that because I wanted it to get lower, so I do not use that part, and it sits in the regular spring perch, which is fine. They never fall out or anything. I don't get enough travel for them to actually fall out. And then the rear shock absorber is Yellow Speed too. It's another Yellow Speed part, and you can kind of see it through there. Maybe not with the lighting. Anyway, yeah, so that's the Yellow Speed Racing setup that I have on for the suspension. I like it. This is a track only version, and I do track my car on occasion, but it is a very harsh ride even on the most damp setting. So if you're not down with that, go with their regular street suspension. I would recommend that for most people. Most people that want to just lower their car, make it look nice and handle a bit better, go with the street one. Don't go with the package I have on here. Also, just pointing out a little bit about what else I got going on down here while I'm down here. You might notice this here. That's a sway bar that I have in here. I forget which one it is. I think it said 22 millimeter. I can measure it, probably won't. But it's a solid rear sway bar. Again, a lot of people won't like this one. There's a hollow one that's a hollow tube that's a lot less stiff. The problem with having a really stiff rear sway bar in a front wheel drive car with no rear seats and no interior is it's too light for it. It basically, under braking or certain conditions, under braking, under hard cornering, the rear end will kick out on you, and it will be difficult to recover in this car because it's a short wheeled base. Ask me how I know. I've ended up on one off-road excursion, and it was interesting. There was no damage, nothing. I just went in the ditch sideways and kept driving out. It was embarrassing, that's all. But again, that could have been a serious condition, so I'm not sure most people would want to run the full setup like I have, the really stiff shocks and the stiff rear sway bar. It's kind of a pay attention at all times type situation when you're driving with this setup, but I like it that way. Yeah, I think that's all. You know, the engine in my car is 100% stock. The only thing I've changed is the air filter is Can-N. Even the exhaust is stock. There's a Futaba Toyota exhaust on there. And because I have energy suspension up front, the engine mounts, it actually sounds a lot louder than it, a lot more powerful than it really is. It transfers all the noise inside, so that's kind of one of those things. It's kind of race car feel, even though it's not. So that's the situation down here. At this point, I don't think I'm going to be able to, well, I don't think I'm even going to try removing this rear or this front brace, because it's doing its job. I'm going to take that Megan Racing tag off and just probably throw it on my toolbox or something, just because it's just going to continue to rattle down here, and I'm tired of the rattle. Yeah, so that's the little update. So that's what happens when you're lowered and have the Megan Racing brace. So, all right, looks like I got some work to do. Got to clean up oil pan gasket, got to replace that. And this rear O2 is out. Yeah, a little bit of work. So there's things you can do back here on your own if you had the time and fabrication skills. Tie these together better and then to the frame. You know, it'd be kind of nice if someone did that. I don't have the energy to do that, honestly, right now. Or I would get into fabricating something maybe someday. Gosh, you know what? How am I hitting all the way back here? I don't know what the hell I'm running over. I run over everything basically when I'm lowered, like I am. Everything hurts. All right, I'm out here. Okay guys, grab the Megan Racing thing off the back of that frame brace. I'm gonna drop the car now. You'll see how low this thing goes. Okay, let's go look at the front. So I'm not insanely low, but as you can see, it's pretty low. It's low enough to look good and perform without rubbing, you know. I still fit my hand up in there, kind of. And then the back sits higher than the front on the stock car, so without that extra perch in there, I got it down here. Looks a hell of a lot better than with this giant, like 6-inch gap above the tire when the way it is stock. But so it's not super low, but it's low enough to cause problems with that brace, obviously. Guys, thanks for checking in and seeing what the hell the update is on this thing. If you guys like this video, comment, like, subscribe, you know, all the deals. So we'll catch you later.